You glance at the clock. 3:12 a.m. Again. And it's not your bladder this time. You're wide awake, for no reason. You're not alone. Many people over 50 experience this silent interruption night after night, without knowing the real cause. But your body is trying to tell you something. It's not random. It's not just aging. In this video, let's uncover the surprising reasons you're waking up at 3 a.m. and how to finally reclaim your deep, healing sleep. If you're tired of waking up tired, hit subscribe and stay connected. Drop a comment sharing your sleep struggles. We're building a caring community for better nights and brighter mornings. Sleep shouldn't be a mystery after 50. Waking up around 3 a.m. could be your body's response to a hidden blood sugar imbalance. During the night, your body relies on a steady supply of glucose to maintain basic functions while you sleep. But if you ate too early, skipped dinner, or had a meal lacking in protein or complex carbohydrates, your blood sugar may drop too low by the middle of the night. In response, your body releases cortisol, a stress hormone, to raise blood sugar levels and keep things running. The problem is, cortisol is also a stimulant. When it surges, it can jolt you awake with a racing mind or a restless feeling. This pattern is surprisingly common among older adults. As metabolism slows with age and insulin sensitivity changes, the body becomes more vulnerable to nighttime dips in glucose. Some doctors suggest that when people over 50 wake up at the same time each night, especially between 2 and 4 a.m., it's often not due to insomnia, but to the stress response triggered by a drop in blood sugar. To help stabilize this, some experts recommend having a balanced evening meal with enough healthy fats, fiber, and protein. In some cases, a small bedtime snack, like a handful of nuts or a slice of whole-grain toast, may also help prevent that cortisol spike. It's a small change, but for many, it can lead to deeper, more consistent sleep and fewer early morning interruptions. Understanding this connection is a step toward reclaiming restful, restorative nights. Between 1 and 3 a.m., the liver is especially active. This is when it performs much of the body's natural detoxification work. According to traditional and emerging research, this window is when your liver clears toxins, processes hormones, and helps reset your internal systems. But when the liver is overburdened by a poor diet, alcohol, medications, or even late-night snacking, it can struggle to keep up. That internal stress may be enough to interrupt your sleep and cause a sudden wake-up. For people over 50, this becomes more common. The liver's efficiency tends to decline with age, especially if it's been taxed over decades by processed foods, inflammatory oils, or regular use of medications like acetaminophen or statins. If your liver is under strain during this detox window, your nervous system may become slightly activated, just enough to disturb sleep. Some doctors point out that this type of wake-up often comes with restlessness, mild sweating, or an unsettled stomach, signs that your body is working harder than it should during rest. Improving liver support can make a real difference. That doesn't mean extreme cleanses, but rather steady changes, limiting alcohol, staying hydrated, cutting back on processed foods, and including liver-supportive nutrients like leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables. Waking up at 2 a.m. might not seem connected to what's on your plate or in your medicine cabinet, but your liver knows the difference. Giving it a break may be the key to sleeping through the night. Your body might be lying still, but if your mind is holding tension, true rest can't begin. For many people over 50, unprocessed stress becomes a quiet nighttime disruptor. When emotional worries go unresolved, whether it's about health, family, finances, or simply the weight of the day, they don't disappear at bedtime. Instead, they shift below the surface, where the mind continues to churn even in sleep. That's why many find themselves waking suddenly between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., heart racing or thoughts swirling, even after falling asleep just fine. Doctors and Sleep specialists have noted that the brain's processing of emotions often continues through the night. During certain stages of sleep, particularly REM, your brain tries to sort through unresolved tension. But when stress is high or chronic, this process can go into overdrive, nudging you awake before morning. You may not remember a dream or even feel stressed in the moment, but the body reacts as if something is wrong. Even low-level anxiety or rumination before bed can be enough to activate your nervous system. That's why some sleep experts recommend calming rituals before bed, like deep breathing, journaling, or gentle stretching. These aren't just relaxing. They send a signal to the brain that it's safe to let go. If you're waking up around 3 a.m. and can't point to a physical reason, look inward. Emotional tension doesn't always scream. It whispers in your sleep, asking for attention. And when you listen, restful sleep often follows. Blue light exposure and late-night eating can quietly sabotage your sleep, especially after 50, when natural melatonin levels are already declining. Melatonin is the hormone that signals your body it's time to rest. But when you use screens like phones, tablets, or TVs late into the evening, the blue light emitted tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. That delays melatonin production, which can affect not just how quickly you fall asleep, but how deeply and continuously you sleep through the night. Many people over 50 notice they fall asleep easily, only to wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., unable to get back to sleep. This interrupted sleep cycle is often linked to melatonin being disrupted earlier in the night. Even short amounts of screen time close to bed can have an effect. And it's not just screens. Eating late, especially sugary or high-carb foods, can also interfere. Late-night snacks can cause a temporary spike in blood sugar, followed by a drop that wakes the body with a cortisol surge, precisely when melatonin should be keeping you in deep sleep. Sleep specialists often recommend turning off screens at least an hour before bedtime and avoiding heavy or sweet foods after dinner. These aren't just old-fashioned tips. They're backed by what we now understand about circadian rhythms and hormone balance. Protecting your melatonin is one of the most powerful, natural ways to stay asleep. When it flows smoothly, the body rests deeply, and that's when true healing begins. Adrenal fatigue, though not always formally recognized in every medical setting, describes a pattern many people over 50 recognize. Years of chronic stress slowly exhaust the adrenal glands, which regulate your stress hormones, especially cortisol. Normally, cortisol follows a healthy daily rhythm, highest in the morning to wake you up and lowest at night to help you sleep. But when the system is worn down, that rhythm becomes disrupted. Many people in this state find themselves wide awake around 3 a.m., tired but wired. It feels like the body is stuck in high alert, even in the middle of the night. This can happen when cortisol is released at the wrong time, often due to overstimulation of the adrenal system. Nighttime spikes in cortisol can interrupt sleep, suddenly leaving you restless, anxious, or even sweaty without knowing why. Hormonal changes after 50, including shifts in estrogen, progesterone, or testosterone, can also interact with this stress response and worsen sleep patterns. For women, this may be part of the menopause transition. For men, gradual testosterone decline can affect energy and sleep cycles too. Many functional medicine doctors suggest that supporting adrenal health with calming bedtime routines, magnesium-rich foods, and better stress management during the day may help restore balance. When adrenal and hormonal systems are out of sync, sleep becomes fragmented. But when they're supported and reset, the body is more likely to rest deeply, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. No more 3 a.m. wake-ups. Your body is deeply sensitive to its environment during sleep, especially in the later stages of the night when it's trying to reach the deepest, most restorative phases. Even small disruptions in room temperature, ambient noise, or light can quietly pull you out of this vital stage without waking you entirely. But around 3 a.m., when your sleep cycle resets, These environmental stressors may become enough to fully wake you. Temperature plays a crucial role. As you sleep, your body naturally cools down. If the room becomes too warm or too cold, your body can struggle to maintain the right balance, leading to discomfort or interrupted rest. Experts often recommend keeping your bedroom between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal sleep quality. Even a few degrees off can trigger restlessness or sudden awakenings in the early morning hours. Lighting is another common disruptor. Streetlights through thin curtains, a glowing alarm clock, or light sneaking in from the hallway can reduce your melatonin levels and signal your brain that it's time to wake up, even when it's not. Similarly, background noises like humming electronics, a distant television, or footsteps in the hallway can fragment sleep without fully rousing you, building up until you're suddenly wide awake. Protecting your sleep environment matters. Small adjustments, like blackout curtains, white noise machines, or cooling bedding, can make a real difference in staying asleep through the night. Sometimes it's not your mind or body causing the 3 a.m. wake-up. It's the room itself. Sleep apnea is a common but often overlooked cause of waking up around 3 a.m., especially for people over 50. This condition causes brief pauses in breathing during sleep, which lower oxygen levels and trigger the body to wake suddenly to resume breathing. These oxygen dips disrupt the natural sleep cycle, leaving you feeling unrested, even after a full night in bed. Many seniors develop mild to moderate sleep apnea without realizing it. Snoring, gasping, or choking sounds during the night are key warning signs. Some may not be aware they stop breathing briefly, but the frequent interruptions cause the brain and body to jolt awake repeatedly. This prevents the deep, restorative sleep stages that your body needs to heal and recharge. Doctors warn that untreated sleep apnea increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and high blood pressure. It's not just about feeling tired, it's a serious health issue that demands prompt attention. If you notice persistent fatigue during the day, loud snoring, or waking up gasping for air, consult your healthcare provider. They may recommend a sleep study to diagnose the condition and explore treatments like CPAP machines or lifestyle changes. Addressing sleep apnea can dramatically improve your quality of sleep and overall health. When oxygen levels stay steady and breathing is smooth, the body can rest fully through the night, and you can finally say goodbye to those frustrating 3 a.m. wake-ups. Consuming caffeine late in the day or enjoying a nightcap might seem harmless, but both can disrupt your sleep in surprising ways, especially after 50. While caffeine can help keep you alert, its stimulating effects often linger longer than expected, leading to a sudden rebound wakefulness around 3 a.m. The body's response to this late caffeine can cause a jolt that interrupts deep sleep, making it harder to stay asleep through the night. Similarly, alcohol might help you relax and fall asleep faster, but as it metabolizes, it can trigger rebound insomnia. This means that once the initial sedative effects wear off, the brain becomes more alert, causing you to wake up unexpectedly in the early morning hours. Alcohol also reduces the quality of deep sleep, leaving you feeling unrested despite seemingly sleeping enough hours. Doctors caution that these patterns can create a cycle of poor sleep, fatigue, and increased caffeine or alcohol consumption, making the problem worse. Avoiding caffeine after mid-afternoon and limiting alcohol intake in the evening can help break this cycle. Being mindful of what and when you drink is a simple but powerful step to prevent those frustrating 3 a.m. wake-ups and enjoy more restful, uninterrupted sleep. Waking up at 3 a.m. often signals that your body's internal clock or circadian rhythm is out of sync. This natural rhythm regulates sleep and wake cycles, but it can become unbalanced due to inconsistent sleep habits, such as varying bedtimes or waking times. When your schedule shifts frequently, your body struggles to maintain steady hormonal signals that promote deep, restful sleep through the night. Doctors emphasize that maintaining a consistent sleep routine, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, helps reinforce your body clock. This stability allows your brain to anticipate when it's time to sleep and when to wake, reducing unexpected awakenings like those at 3 a.m. Even on weekends, sticking to this pattern supports hormonal balance and improves overall sleep quality. Restoring. Your circadian rhythm may take time, but it's one of the most effective ways to reduce early morning awakenings and reclaim deep, restorative sleep. Simple changes in your routine can make a significant difference in how refreshed and energized you feel throughout the day. Waking up at 3 a.m. can sometimes be a gentle invitation from your inner self to find quiet and calm amidst life's noise. For many, this early hour is when the distractions of the day fade away, and the heart quietly speaks. Rather than fighting these moments of wakefulness, embracing them with mindfulness can transform frustration into healing. Practices like journaling, prayer, or deep breathing during these early hours help soothe the mind and spirit. Writing down thoughts or worries can clear mental clutter, while prayer or meditation offers comfort and connection. Deep, slow breaths activate the body's relaxation response, easing tension and preparing you to return to restful sleep. Many experts highlight that using 3 a.m. wakefulness as a time for gentle reflection supports emotional well-being and reduces stress. This mindful approach shifts your relationship with sleep disruptions, making them less of a battle and more of a quiet pause that nurtures your soul. Finding peace during these hours can lead to better nights and a calmer mind throughout the day.